Hello everyone and welcome to one more session of Marzi that is sponsored by Primus. So today the topic is listening to the heart's whispers. आप सभी को पता है जैसे कि ये महीना जो है that is heart month. So about this session I'll just give you a small brief. This session will focus on busting common health myths and uncovering the warming signs that often go unnoticed. The aim is to make the audience more aware of how the heart communicates subtle changes and when those changes signal the need for timely action. Let's see, and this can be done only by one of our special doctor from Marzi, that is Dr. Snehalatha S. About her, you all know her, but still I'll speak a bit about her. Dr. Snehalatha is a VP of Clinical Services at Marzi by Primus and brings over 14 years of experience in patient care, wellness and healthcare management. She's held leadership roles at Portea and Manipal and is deeply committed to preventive healthcare and holistic wellness, something they all value at Marzi. So, welcome Dr. Snehalatha. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for that warm welcome.
So I'll just brief you. Now the presentation will be played, and if there's anything related to heart issues or else any myth or else anything, you can just put it in the chat box, and doctor will love to answer all of them. So over to you, doctor, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And welcome back to everyone who's been here before and for the newcomers today. I'm glad to be speaking on a very important topic, which, of course, the significance of this month is Hearts Day, World Hearts Day, which is celebrated on September 29th. But since we have a little early slot, I thought we will talk about heart, but in a different sense. You've heard of heart attacks, you've heard of heart failures, you've heard of these conditions, but there are things that you should know before these conditions set in your life. So I'll just take you through a little bit of it and then we can have a discussion. You can ask your doubts. If I do not get to see your chats, you can definitely put up your questions at the end of the session. I will get to them. So, to begin with, you know that our heart starts beating from the minute we are born, right? Or even before. Should I say the minute we are conceived in our mother's womb? That's when it starts beating. So, it's one organ that continues to beat until we die. So, how frequently do you think it is beating? So, you would have heard 72 beats per minute. So, if you just calculate how many times it's already beaten by the age by the time we've reached 50, it's beaten about more than 2 billion times, right? Now, anything that works constantly every day, every second, without stop, without a break, it is going to cause a little bit of wear and tear for these muscles. Having said that, it does not mean the heart breaks down. It does not mean that it cannot be healthy. It does not mean it cannot function for the next 50 years. It all depends on us, how we take care of it, how do we protect it. Because from what we've seen in right now, there's so much of evidence that even genetics takes a step back. So just to before I go further, I thought I'll just tell you about this. There's this study which very clearly showed when they took stem cells from two identical babies and they put it in different mediums. So one place where it had all the food, it had all the warmth, it developed into a different kind of organ, and when the ingredients were changed, it was developing into a different organ. So one gave us muscle, one gave us bone, but it's all the same cell, same genetics. Then how did it differ? All this difference happened because of the environment. So just like that, everything that we do, our lifestyle, what we do on a daily basis, it all has an impact on our heart. So having said that, let's talk about more about what can we identify, bust a few myths, and then how can we protect it and find things early. So you know what the function of a heart is. It pumps to make sure that the blood is supplied to all your organs, especially your brain, and definitely keeping all the other organs safe and tidy. So it makes sure that oxygen, the food that you have absorbed from your diet, everything is distributed equally to every part of your body and makes your body function normally. And this is done at a constant speed and a constant pressure. Now, either if the rate changes, it either becomes high or low, or if the blood pressure changes, the amount of blood going to different organ also changes. So even a low blood pressure is a problem, high blood pressure is also a problem. High heart rate is a problem, low heart rate is a problem. But having said that, heart does change even with emotions, right? So when I talk about environment, I tell you that a lot of things affect you. It could be your mood, it could be your stress, it could be if you're going for an exam, if you're going for an interview, your rate increases. If you're in a tense situation, it increases. But if you're very happy, then you feel calm. Your heart is nice and warm and beating very in a rhythmic tone, right? You've heard of lub dub, the sounds. There's so many songs written about them and all that. But having said all that, there are a lot of things that we can do to protect our heart. So we'll start with a few myths first. Why am I going to talk about these myths? Because these myths are very easily misleading. These are things that you need to know that these facts are wrong, easily correctable, and you should know the difference between what is normal aging and what is not. And if you know that, you can take care of your heart and make sure you identify conditions early, because, like everyone says, prevention is always better than cure. So the first thing which most people tell me when I talk to them and tell them you have to exercise, they tell me I'm very active. I do housework every day. Let me tell you, housework is not a workout for your heart. What you do, of course, is hard labor. Definitely, there's sweeping, there's wiping, there's cleaning. All that is good. But what your heart needs, at least 30 minutes per day, is a little bit of aerobic exercises. It can be in any form. It can be simple dancing, cycling, swimming, walking, anything, but it has to beat at a faster pace. Now, the next question is walking how much and how far? How fast? Um, I would ideally say 30 minutes. You can even break it up in chunks, make it 10 minutes per walk. But the walk should be brisk walk, not your normal walk where you're able to easily talk to somebody when you're walking. It should be brisk enough that you're not comfortable talking, but you're easily breathing. It should be that brisk. And even if you do 15 minutes to 20 minutes per day, it is ideal. But I would say at least thrice a week, hit the 30-minute mark. Now, most of them, when I talk to them, they tell me, I do walk, doctor. I do 1 hour walk, 2 hours walk. It does not matter how long you walk if your walk is not effective. If I'm just lazily walking around, very slowly walking around, it is not giving the impact that is required, right? The walk should, and it should generate heat. It should generate a little bit high rise in the heart rate. That is when you say you've got a full aerobic workout. Having said that, do not strain yourself. You should be comfortable. You should not get breathless. If you're getting breathless, slow down, pace it out. And of course, there are a lot of ways which people tell we can do walking. And there's one new trend that they say Japanese walking, interval walking. So 10 minutes brisk walking, 10 minutes slow walking. That's fine. If as long as you are comfortable, that's what matters. So housework, unfortunately, or your when I talk about housework, it doesn't have to be housework. It could be even your office work. I'm walking towards my people. I'm walking around the office floor. No, that's not considered a walk. That is called working. That's your normal work. It's not considered a exercise. Exercise should be brisk, should be done at least for 30 minutes daily. Moving on. I feel fine. I don't need checkup. This is something that I've heard multiple people say. And not just from elders. I even have heard from 30-year-olds telling me that I feel fine. I don't need regular checkups. But let me buzz that myth. Nowadays, the heart attack is happening at a very low age of 32, 35. It's kind of come down. The reason for all this is one is unhealthy living, stressful lifestyle. We're in a very competitive world. There's disturbance sleep, there's not a good pattern of sleep, the eating habits are irregular. And main problem is most of them have this peer pressure of wanting to work out, build muscles. They try to get shortcuts, they use injections. All this has a negative impact on your body. So you need to be very careful. You need to make sure that you get regular checkup irrespective of your age. An annual checkup just to find out if everything is okay is very important. And as we grow older, this becomes more important because our machines, that our heart is like your car engine, right? It is working continuously. At some day, it's going to give up. Are you going to wait till it stops, or are you going to do you get your oil checked up regularly? It's just like that. If you don't get that regularly checked up, it's definitely going to cause problems. Then sugar. Most patients say, even if I have diabetes or so-called diabetes that you say, I'm fine. I do not have any symptoms. Now, most of these diseases are silent killers. They don't cause any problem until the last minute. And by the time you catch it with the proper symptom, you are kind of at the last stages where you can't revert it back. So you need to catch them early. You need to do regular tests. You need to make sure these silent killers don't do a damage, and this happens only if you do a regular checkup. Having said that, I do not advise you to do the complete screening that they put out there. You go to any diagnostic centers, they have a battery of tests that they run. There are certain checkups that are required for you based on your profile. Your doctor would be the best person to tell you which test you require. You don't need to go undergo the entire checkup. And there are certain tests that you require to follow up at least twice a year. And there are certain tests which can be done once in 5 years also. All this depends on your risk profile, how at what risk you are to develop a certain condition. So based on that, your doctor will advise you which test to be done. So no, even if you're young or no matter how old you are not fine completely. Your system is working non-stop. So definitely there's some wear and tear. Please make sure that you get your doctor to examine you at least once a year. Then moving on to a very important and very interesting topic, which I get pulled into a lot of times, right? A lot of people tell me a little bit of alcohol or red wine is very good for the heart. This was a myth that was created in the internet, or let's say in the era where wine was not selling well, that they decided, let's talk about this and say it's good for the health. So have a little red wine every day is very good for health. Some people even say this in terms of alcohol. But recent studies have very clearly showed that this is not the case. It has harmful effects, and even a small amount can be dangerous. And unfortunately, when we say small amounts, amount is not quantified here. So each one has their own definition of small. So I would say avoid it completely, especially if you're on any kind of medications, because there's a lot of interactions. And instead of your wine, I would suggest try the grapes directly. Grapes, the fruit itself is very good for you. So rather than relying on alcohol to help you with your heart conditions or to keep it healthy, I would focus on a stress-free environment. Try to, de-stress yourself. Try to get good quality of sleep. Try to sleep well, exercise regularly, and this is more beneficial than an alcohol. Uh, I'll tell you, people who want to get away with it, they say alcohol is good. Just like this is just one such myth. There are many myths, like even coffee is good for you, coffee is bad for you. So if you go online, you will find contradictory statements all over. But scientifically, it has been proven that even a small amount of alcohol is not good for the heart. It is better to avoid. The benefits versus the risk is definitely not worth it. Now, coming to normal ECG. Now, so when we talk about heart conditions, the main thing everyone expects is get an ECG done. If ECG is fine, everything is fine. Now, let me tell you, ECG is like a selfie, right? It's like a photo. If you just taken a snapshot of what your heart rate is currently or your heart condition is currently. But have you been to houses where, let's forget other houses. Let's look at our own house. Do you think in your house all the time everything is happy and fun and everything is fine all the time? If I take a photo, does it capture the entire picture of your family's position? No, it misses a lot of things, right? There are a lot of elements. Because I'll tell you a fun fact. My daughter, the minute she sees me put on the camera, she's got a big broad smile. Even if she's crying, suddenly she stops crying and she smiles because she knows the camera is on and it's taking a pic. The minute I keep my phone away, again she's back to her tantrum or crying. So it just very clearly tells you that ECG is just a snapshot. It's a selfie. You've just taken a moment of your heart. But what is really happening in your heart cannot be predicted with normal ECG alone. So you would want to get an echo done. But again, it depends on your age and your other factors, your blood markers. So talk to your doctor, make sure those parameters are fine. Only when they're combined with other results can we tell if it is normal or not. And sometimes we miss even that subtle changes in ECG may be missed, and you might need to do a echo or a DMT to get to know how your heart is really functioning. So once a year, if you get that, that will be very good. Now, the next myth we tell, heart trouble comes very suddenly. Unfortunately, I have seen so many people come to me at the very last stage when they have heart attack, or they have a condition that comes like it's become beyond repair. The reason is they have very slowly or very subtly they've avoided the changes that could have been realized earlier. So they have they've associated it with old age, or they've just associated with I did something bad, I ate something wrong, or they've associated with I just walked too much, I may have put my legs down for too long, that's why my ankles are swollen. So subtle small things which we justify and tell it is normal, it's a part of growing old, may not be the fact. And here's one fun thing that you need to know. Growing old does not mean you have to get symptoms. That does not mean you have to have all these problems. I have patients, I've seen patients who up to 90 who have had no symptoms, no problems, who have led healthy lives. So you don't need to have symptoms. It doesn't mean that as you grow older, you have to get one of these symptoms. If you get them, then please get it evaluated. It may not be anything to do with your age. It may be just subtly telling you there's a heart issue. Then coming to this one is again another contradictory statement, very much heard of. You're overweight, you're obese, so your cholesterol will be high, and you're the only one who will get heart attack. Let me break that big myth for you. I've seen about 80% of my clients who have cholesterol high levels are less, have either normal body weight, or they are on the leaner side. Unfortunately, I do not know the proper correlation, but I'm assuming it's something got to do with the genetics. I've seen most of my patients are on the leaner side, but they have high cholesterol. So weight has got nothing to do with the level of cholesterol in your body. It just means if you're obese or if you're overweight, it just means that you have a lot of fat stored in your body. But what causes your heart condition is more to do with the free flowing or the cholesterol that is in your blood. And that's what we check for when we do your lipid tests and we check your blood levels. So that is more important than how much is on your body. But having said that, doesn't mean that overweight is good. Overweight is okay. I wouldn't suggest it because it makes your lifestyle kind of hampered again. If you're overweight, you cannot move around, you cannot exercise, you're not free enough as a normal person would be. And that can cause adverse effect on your lifestyle. Again, a vicious circle can start. But having said that, if you're on the leaner side, doesn't mean that you're safe. I would ideally advise you to get one test done, check your blood at least once annually, and check if you have any of the damages that can predict or increase your risk of getting a heart condition. Okay, so weight is definitely not a guarantee of your health. So please be aware. Next, about heart. Now, most people say, I have cholesterol. My doctor started me on statins. I'm sure you would have heard the term statins many times. You've heard that medicines are given, so I'm going to be fine. No, not true. I told you, more than anything that you ingest, more than what you eat, more than what you take, it is the kind of lifestyle that you do which affects your heart. So medication gives you, if medication gives you like 30% of your health, the rest of the activities are equally important, and which includes, like I said, exercise, your diet management, a well balanced diet. When I talk about diet, it doesn't mean only about avoiding fats and carbs. It also includes a normal amount of vitamins and minerals, and definitely stress management. With the kind of technology that we have, the kind of competition, that a competitive life that we had, it's kind of very stressful living for everybody, right? See, back then when we did not have technology, when we didn't have light, we didn't have electricity, 6:37 max. After that, there's sunset, the lights are off, nobody can do anything, so everyone needs to go to sleep. Okay, so your circadian rhythm was very good. Like you could sleep on time, then early morning you wake up because the rooster is shouting, and then there's the birds chirping, then you find the sunlight coming into your room. A wonderful way to wake up. But unfortunately, now there's no difference between day and night, because even in night the lights are on all the time. Your brain is not able to figure out which is the night, right? There is a gland called pineal gland in our brain, which is very important to produce certain hormones that will cause your body to recuperate. That means during your sleep, your body is repairing itself. It's in a mode of, repair, growth. That's what happens when you sleep. And if you don't get that ideal amount of sleep, sleep, that repair is incomplete. And imagine some machine that is not given enough time to repair. Or let's say it's like your phone now. If you don't give it enough charge, how is it going to work properly? It's going to start glitching. So just like that, you need to have enough rest, you need to exercise well, you need to eat well, and medicines are just not enough. Medicines just help in healing and to prevent it, but the long term effect is from your lifestyle. If you make a change in your lifestyle, avoid smoking, all these are very important things, and they play a bigger part in your recovery. Now, listen to the heart when it whispers rather than it shouts. So, when is the shout? Shout is when you have really huge pain and you're difficult in breathing and you're rushed to the hospital. That is shouting, right? It's literally telling you, I'm done. You please do something for me. But I would like you to listen to it when it starts saying, "Hey, I'm getting tired. I'm not able to walk. There are very subtle changes that it'll tell you, and very easily it'll tell you that I'm building up for this. If you do not take an action now, I'm going to have problems, right? So how do you recognize them? One, you become unusually tired, right? You do the normal lifestyle, you go about your daily work, but even that small daily work is making you tired. Then second is when you walk. Either when you walk up the stairs or you walk for a distance, you start becoming breathless. You're not able to get proper breath. You're running out of air and you need to stop and hold your breath. If that's happening, that's a very subtle sign of telling you there's something wrong with your either your heart or your lungs. You need to get that evaluated. Then the other very dicey thing is about persistent indigestion, because unfortunately for us, we are told as we grow older, our digestive system slows down. So your bloating could be just gas, could be something that you ate, something that didn't digest well, right? Very easily mistaken. And unfortunately for some of us, if we have a pain tolerance that is really high, we will even a heart attack will feel just like a small gastric situation, and we might just ignore it. Okay. Now, unexpected pain. I had one client who came to me with, they didn't come to us directly. They went to a dentist saying, I have jaw pain. I think it's something to do with the dental caries. They did a checkup. He's having severe pain, no caries, nothing there. Then they did an X-ray trying to see if there's an internal infection. They found nothing, and then ultimately landed up in our ER. And when we did his ECG, we found that he was suffering from a acute heart attack. Now, this is what we were trying to tell you. They were subtle changes. They may not even come as a proper heart attack. So they can be very silent, very dangerous. So if you have some pain anywhere in your chest, which radiates to your arms or your shoulder or your jaw, and if you feel uneasy, uncomfortable, and if your last checkup was very far away, I would suggest reach out to a ER, get yourself checked up, and don't avoid these symptoms. None of the symptoms that I just now told you is something that you should have as you grow older. It is not supposed to happen. If you are developing it, that means something is wrong. Please reach out to your doctor. Silent red flags to watch for, like I said. When you lie down flat, if you're having difficulty in breathing, if you're not sleeping well, if you're uncomfortable and your sleep is disturbed because of this, you prefer to lie down, sit on a chair and sleep rather than lie down. If your legs are swollen in the morning, not in the evening, if after a good night's sleep, if you get up and you see your leg is swollen, or if you feel sudden, your heart is suddenly raising. But when I say suddenly raising, please be aware, it should have nothing to do with emotions or your mood. So if you're happy to see your grandchild and your heart is raising, that does not mean you're having palpitations. I'm saying when you're just doing a regular job and suddenly it becomes very loud, you're able to hear it in your ears. Like normally we don't, right? Now we are here, sitting here, all of you are listening to me. Have you even noticed that your heart is beating? Do you hear that sound? No, you regularly don't you hear it. But if you're becoming so unusually aware that you can hear your heartbeat in your when you're taking rest or just sitting like this, or if you feel your heart is running in a rapid pace, those are not normal if it is not triggered. Okay. And sometimes even persistent headaches, which can be very subtle ways of telling your blood pressure is rising, or even eye pain could be a simple way of telling you your blood pressure is high. Dizziness, when you get up from when suddenly from a sitting position, if you rise and you're feeling dizzy, All these are very subtle changes which can easily tell you these are silent flags that something is going wrong. You need to get evaluated. Daily heart healthy habits, I've covered most of it, but just to give you a little bit of glimpse into that, 5 minute deep breathing. I would there are different ways of doing this. You can do 4-7-8, where you take 4 seconds, you inhale, 7 seconds you hold, 8 seconds you breathe out. This is one such technique, but there are many ways to do this. The idea is that you concentrate on your breath, meditate. It's basically bringing your self awareness about your whole body. This kind of simple things can help you de-stress, and definitely takes a lot of strain, it takes a lot of strain away from your brain and your heart. Then fruits, like I said, more than wine and alcohol, I would prefer fruits. You eat your grape every day, that's fine. But get a right balance. And usually I recommend the rainbow diet, where I say every day eat one different color vegetable, one different color fruit. It covers all your vitamins and gives you a balanced diet. Sleep before midnight. Again, sleep hygiene is very important. Try and make sure that you do not use your gadgets at least 2 hours before you sleep. Do not eat anything 2 hours before you sleep. Make sure you avoid any liquids post dinner. This prevents you from waking up in the night. And aim to sleep at least 7 to 8 hours. It is a myth that they say that as you grow older, the amount of sleep you require is less. No, the engine is still engine. You're still a car. You're still running, you still need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I would ideally say during the darkness, when it is nice and dark, is when the ideal sleep should be. I would avoid daytime sleeping, but a little bit of nap in the afternoon is good. But do not let it be beyond 4 o'clock, because after that, then you have difficulty falling asleep in the night. Then walk with a friend. Like I said, nothing motivates us to do something unless somebody else is there and they are doing it for their sake, we do it. So companion and doing things together definitely makes it more worthwhile. And it plays a dual role, right? You get friendship also. You get to go walk, sit, talk. You have somebody. We are all social human beings. We definitely need someone. And what's more important as we grow older is companionship rather than your so-called love and everything. It's about companionship. You need someone to talk to, listen to, share your feelings with, share your experiences with. So have a friend, walk with them. And laughter is the best medicine. I have always believed in that. So uh, try comedy, try going, reading a book, watch a show, find what works for you. The so-called laughter club, where you actually force yourself to laugh. I know it sounds and looks very awkward for people outside, but when you force yourself unknowingly, one day you start laughing on your own. So you start finding it funny. You start when you do that, the happy hormones are released. But again, no shoe fits, and one shoe doesn't fit everybody's size. So find out what ticks for you and stick to that. So, like I told, listen to your heart. Make sure you get check up at least once a year. And one of these myths that I've talked about, I would request you to pass it on to your friends and family so that they know that it's not okay to follow what myth has been shared by the others. And with that, I come towards the fag end of my presentation, and I would like to open up the session to others for questions.
That was actually a well elaborated one. I was actually listening to it, and this whole month we have actually done many things in and around of heart because of Heart Day. So it was very well presented, and we have started getting on WhatsApp. That's why I put it in the chat. Please put it in the Zoom chat box, or we are getting it on our WhatsApp chat. But I'll ask
No
that also.
issues. Yeah.
So the first question is by Sridharan sir. What will you advise? All my parameters as per latest lab test are normal, and I'm 80, no PED, 21 BMI 6. Does yoga, pranayam, exercise, sleep 7 to 8 hours?
Okay. Like I told you, your lab test is not the only indicator of your heart and your functions, but if they're very normal, that's very good sign. Having said that, it has to be correlated with your a physical checkup with your doctor. And coming to BMI sounds very good, but again, I'm telling you, your weight has nothing got to do with your cholesterol levels. But I'm happy that your lab tests are normal. Does yoga, pranayama, and exercise and sleep? Yes, definitely all this helps. Yoga is definitely a way of meditation. If you notice, it is a combination of exercise, your breathing, concentration. If you actually follow yoga as per what is prescribed, it is your body, mind, and soul being treated at the same time. So, definitely good to go.
So before we move ahead for more questions, today's program, do you loved it? How was the presentation? Come be a part of Marzi community, a warm space, spirited adults 55 plus to connect. So there is a WhatsApp link in the chat box, everyone. If you can just find that link, I'm just sharing it again. Just click on that link. I'll just embossed it for you. So you will be actually redirected to your WhatsApp for their WhatsApp group, and you can ask anything. They'll be giving you the details. There are many more things which has to be done. To Bimal sir, I have one more question of yours. Yeah, some myths broken. Yeah, good. If walking not possible, can cycling compensate by this?
Yes, anything that raises your heart rate a little definitely will compensate. But again, be careful because as you grow older, you have to be mindful of your joints also. So see what works for you. Don't overstrain. And ideally, I would say if you're not used to cycling and you're starting on the first time, please get your advice from a physiotherapist or somebody who evaluates you and tells you how much you can do. Because unnecessary strain can cause more wear and tear than doing a good session of cycling. Walking is kind of the safest route. Of course, cycling, swimming, all that definitely plays a big role. You can use that as also, but again, I said, see what suits you.
So there are two, three related to physical only. I just got it on my WhatsApp. So this is by Shobha Goyalji. What should I do if I feel short of breath or dizziness during exercise?
See, that's not ideally either. There are two ways in this can happen. One, either you've started on a completely low sugar, you've not had something. So, normally we would tell a fruit, a egg, or a protein shake before exercise, at least 1 hour before if you take it. Ideally, you should take that and then start. The reason being, you've seen, no, they take this protein shakes and all.
Yeah.
Reason is if you go on an empty stomach or if your sugar is low, and when you start doing this, you will get dizziness. Okay. Second reason why you could have this is one, either if your heart is not being functioned properly or you have difficulty in getting oxygen into your body. So if this could be the second reason, so you need to get evaluated further.
Okay, that's amazing. Now the next question is a combination of two. You might be knowing it. So should we worry about heart palpitation or irregular heartbeats? And is there any natural way to manage a high blood pressure?
Natural way. See, again, I told you, high blood pressure is. See, what people forget is our body is under our control, right? So, if you just giving you an example, if you're going for an exam, if you tell yourself, "I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm not going to get scared," definitely there's going to be no symptoms. But if you're nervous and you're like, "I'm nervous, I'm going to think," then you start feeling your heart racing, you start sweating. It's in your body. So, which literally means that if I stand strong and I'm not scared, my body is in my control. So to an extent your body is in your control, your blood pressure is in your hands. You live a lifestyle which is little not very stressful, you eat healthy, you take care of yourself, that should be good. But if you've already developed hypertension, then definitely take your medicines. Please follow the instructions your doctor has given, whether it's after food, when to take it, how frequently. Follow them and don't think that normally, I'd say 99% of the time, we never stop your hypertension and diabetic drugs once they have been started, unless and until something drastically changes.
That's lovely. Moving on next, this is asked by Sunil. He is 64 years. So he is asking cholesterol. My cholesterol is normal. So should I not worry about my heart disease?
See,
Yeah.
cholesterol is just one thing that causes a heart disease.
Okay.
Okay, there are many conditions. See, again, this is another myth people have that cholesterol rises, cholesterol will cause the blockage in my heart and that in my arteries, and that's why I get heart attack. No, not true. There are a lot of other conditions also which can cause heart attack, right? It can be, we call it a neurogenic shock. There's so many things. Infections can cause. Then there is a fact that your vessels are becoming smaller, not just because of cholesterol. There is even calcium deposit. There's so many things that cause cause heart disease. So cholesterol is just one parameter which has been highlighted because it's most commonly the factor which causes heart attack. But there are a lot of other things that cause heart conditions. So no, I wouldn't say only if cholesterol is normal, my heart is safe. No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Okay. We have one more Shobha A56. It's heartbeat. If heartbeat misses in between, what precautions should we take?
See, very unfortunately for us, we cannot know when it is missing a beat unless and until it is being diagnosed either through an ECG or by regular monitoring. You never know when it's missing a beat. In some people, it is even normal. Okay, we have certain very subtle, very once in a long time beat is missing, very subtle. But most of the arrhythmias are controllable by medications, which can be taken on a regular basis. If it is so bad that it cannot be controlled, then definitely a doctor would tell you to put a pacemaker, which controls your heart from a signal point of view. But if it's just something that is very subtle and very small, it can be managed with medications and lifestyle. But you will not be aware that you're missing the beat.
Yeah, so that's the main thing. Now there's one more question, but before that, what I just got it on my WhatsApp is surgery the last option for seniors for heart issues?
See, surgery is not the option for everybody, and then it's not for all diseases. Okay, for example, I'll tell you, you would have heard of your heart becoming big, cardiomyopathy, right? A lot of people can live with that condition for a very long time, but when it comes to a stage where it stops beating and it's become very sluggish, then we might advise for a surgery, which is a complete heart transplant, right? Now that's different from a heart attack where we only remove or we put a stent, we clear up the vessel that is blocked. So surgery is just one option among the many, and it all depends on what kind of heart disease you have.
Okay, so that was a kind of myth actually. So next question is by Mukesh Kumar Das ji. My HDLC is 4.5 and HDL is 3.4. What can I do?
Okay, so this is a little deep into science if I have to tell you about cholesterol. Okay, so there's something called high density lipoproteins, and then there is very low density hyperprotein. So high density is supposed to be what you call your good cholesterol, right? It should be at a higher level. So normally these are got from your nuts, your cod liver oil tablets, omega. If you've heard my past series, then you would have heard I would have mentioned about omega 3. So these are certain things that you need to use. I would suggest if it is low, talk to your dietitian or your nutritionist. They can help you with this.
Nice. Moving on next, this is by Bomi ma'am. She's very regular since 4 5 years, and she's asking, as seniors, we go to washroom 2 3 times at night. Hence, it is difficult to get 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I wish I could have shared the sleep. We had one complete session about only sleep. I'll see if I can ask my people at Marzi to share that with you. We had a very beautiful conversation on this. See, when we talk about 7 hours of sleep, it is not only about quantitative, it's more of quality also. And if after using the restroom, if you're able to come and fall back into sleep, then it is not a problem at all. And second thing, normally you shouldn't be able to get up in the night so many times. If you are getting up, either you're developing a diabetes or you have something called urinary incontinence, which you might want to get evaluated for. Once a night, that also depends on how frequently or how much you've had to drink like water or liquid or fluid in the past 2 hours. That's why I said 2 hours before you sleep, try and avoid liquids. But you shouldn't be getting up 2 to 3 times. If you are getting, I would ideally suggest you to get yourself evaluated. And if you are still falling back to sleep after the 2 to 3 times, then it's okay.
I think so. We should have a session on sleep apnea also, because I'll tell you, I have so many seniors and we have been traveling them with in Goa, Kerala, and everywhere. Now we are going to Dubai. Everyone has only one issue. Firoz, how to get sleep? I'm like, मैम मुझे ही नींद नहीं आती है, मुझे रात में मतलब I need to see a movie, then only I get a sleep, or else I start taking those gummies and everything, and those music also many times it doesn't help. So I think we should discuss on this, because this is an amazing topic related
It's
to
a topic
sleep.
on its own.
Actually,
It's a
actually,
topic on its own.
So,
Before
yeah.
we wind up, I would also like to tell you, see if you love this session and if you want to know more, we do such frequent sessions for our elders in our community also, completely free of cost. Please join our WhatsApp, and you will definitely get more information about this. People like me and my colleagues, we make it a point that we have different kind of webinars every day, and if you're not able to join, you can leave our questions to us, and we will definitely help you with that. Please join our WhatsApp community, and let's grow together and let's heal together.
So we have already shared you one link. आपको कुछ नहीं करना है. You just need to click once and you will be there in the group. But before we leave, there are two more questions I need to ask.
Sure.
Um, this is by Goel ji. She's my Hindi. I'll take some time to read. मुझे आम तौर पर कोई तकलीफ नहीं है, पर कभी कभी चेस्ट लीवर साइड कुछ झटके से महसूस होते हैं. क्या कोई खतरा समझूं? प्लीज़ बताएं.
ओके तो यहाँ पे शुरू होता है सबका प्रॉब्लम. हार्ट कहाँ पे है? राइट साइड में है, लेफ्ट साइड में है, सेंटर में है? So normally heart is in the center but slightly tilted towards, like more towards the left. That is why they say. But having said that, आपने जो दर्द बताया वो लिवर की साइड है. लिवर इज ऑन द राइट साइड. ओके. एंड लिवर इज ऑन द लोअर बॉटम, नॉट एट द हार्ट लेवल. सो इफ योर अगर वो दर्द हो रहा है तो आई वुड वांट टू चेक इट फर्स्ट. आई एम नॉट, यू कैन नॉट जस्ट से विद जस्ट फ्रॉम हियर विदाउट seeing you or without testing you. It is very difficult to say what it is. But usually heart का पेन ऐसा नहीं होता. It doesn't come like this normally. So it may be something to do with your ribs or your muscle weakness. कुछ तो हो सकता है. But I won't be able to tell unless examined.
या दैट्स ट्रू. तो शोभा मैम, आप वो ग्रुप ज्वाइन कर लीजिए. वहाँ पे इनके और सेशंस होते हैं, वहाँ पे भी आप सवाल कर सकते हो. Braj Mohan sir, he is saying excellent presentation by Dr. Sneha. Can we get the presentation so that same is shared with friends and relatives? So I'll tell you, Braj Mohan sir, we'll be uploading this video tomorrow early morning. You can share the whole video only with them. All the details related to Marzi, their links and everything will also be there in the description. So if they like the session, and they can directly click on that link and they can join their group also. So it will be there tomorrow before 10, 11 a.m. So thank you, Dr. Sneha. That was actually a well presentation. I should tell you, normally I don't listen because मुझे डर लगता है वो सुन के और. But that was amazing presentation. Thanks a lot, and thank you everyone for joining in. We have a good number, 275 people watching us, and the presentation was amazing. That's why I think the questions. But yes, I have still more questions. एक last एक पूछ. So there's a myth actually. They were just asking. Where it went. Yeah, this is many times actually they always say this. I have also heard, and this is told by Rajiv ji. Taking a daily aspirin is always good for your heart. Is it true or false? Or can we take aspirin, or else we should avoid taking it unless and until it's paining? Or
No. First of all, you need to understand what aspirin does, right? Aspirin is like an anticoagulant. It prevents your blood from clotting. So what happens is, like, it kind of makes your blood more liquid. So normally in people whose blood has got more cholesterol, or if there's a blockage in your vessels, your blood becomes thick. So when it becomes thick, the factors will join. It will cause more of clots and things like that. So and especially people with high cholesterol, uncontrolled cholesterol. So aspirin is not prescribed as a medicine to everybody. It is given based only on your blood markers, your examination, and your high risk profile. So no, I wouldn't give it to everybody. It is very judicially used because it has interactions with a lot of other drugs. So we need to be very careful about who we give and when we give.
yeah, because this I've heard a lot. अरे कुछ हुआ हाथ का, just take an aspirin and just keep it in your pocket, and you'll be fine. So
Not true,
this
not
I've
true.
also heard a lot. So that was lovely session, ma'am. So thanks a lot for this, and thanks to Marzi by Primus. So please do join in their WhatsApp group. We will be sharing soon in the all our WhatsApp chat also tonight, or else tomorrow morning with the live link, with the recording link. So thank you everyone. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye.